Every person you meet is constantly communicating, not just through words, not just through what they intentionally show, but through patterns, the way they react when challenged, the way they behave when they feel ignored, the things they defend too aggressively, the things they avoid completely, the things they repeatedly seek from others. Most people believe they understand human behavior because they listen to what people say. But words are often the most controlled part of communication. A person can choose their words. They can construct an image. They can create a version of themselves designed to be accepted, respected, or admired. But patterns are harder to hide. The unconscious mind reveals itself through repetition. A person may claim they do not care what others think, yet constantly seek approval. A person may claim they are calm, yet become defensive whenever they are questioned. A person may claim they want honesty, yet punish anyone who gives it. The contradiction is where the truth exists. Human beings are not always aware of the messages they send. They reveal themselves in moments when their conscious mind loses control. When emotions rise, when pressure appears, when their identity feels threatened. These moments create psychological cracks. And through those cracks, you can see what exists underneath the surface. The purpose of understanding these patterns is not to manipulate people. It is to understand the hidden mechanisms behind behavior. Because every person has an internal structure, a combination of fears, desires, insecurities, experiences, and beliefs. Most people spend their entire lives reacting to others without understanding why. They judge actions without understanding the psychological system producing those actions. But once you understand the patterns, human behavior becomes less mysterious. People begin revealing themselves without realizing it. And the first pattern appears in the places where people are most protective, the things they refuse to let anyone question. The strongest defenses often surround the deepest insecurities. When someone reacts with unusual intensity, pay attention. The reaction is information. A person does not spend emotional energy defending things that feel irrelevant. They defend what feels connected to their identity. This is one of the fundamental principles behind psychological defense mechanisms. The mind creates protective barriers around painful beliefs. A person who constantly needs to prove their intelligence may not simply value knowledge. They may fear being perceived as inadequate. A person obsessed with appearing successful may not simply enjoy achievement. They may fear being ordinary. A person who constantly tells others they are independent may secretly fear needing anyone. The defense becomes a signal. The louder the protection, the more important the vulnerability underneath. This is why insults often reveal more about the person receiving them than the person delivering them. A comment only becomes powerful when it connects with an existing wound. Someone who has complete security in an area does not need to constantly prove it. They do not need to announce it. They do not need to convince others. True confidence is usually quiet because it does not require external confirmation. But insecurity creates a performance. It creates a constant need to maintain an image. The person is not protecting their reputation. They are protecting their internal story about themselves. And when you understand this, you begin noticing a pattern. The things people defend most aggressively often reveal the places where they feel the most threatened. Control is one of the clearest psychological indicators of what someone has experienced. Everyone wants control to some degree. Control creates stability. It reduces uncertainty. It gives people the illusion that they can predict what comes next. But excessive control reveals something deeper. It often reveals fear. The person who needs everything planned, every detail organized, every outcome predicted, every possibility considered, is often not seeking power. They are seeking protection. Psychology describes this through concepts such as hypervigilance. Hypervigilance is when the brain becomes constantly alert for potential threats. The person scans, they analyze, they prepare. Their mind searches for danger before danger exists. From the outside, this can appear like intelligence, responsibility, discipline. But internally, it can be exhausting. The brain is designed to protect you. However, when protection becomes permanent, the person begins living as if danger is always approaching. They struggle with uncertainty. They struggle with spontaneity. They struggle with trusting situations they cannot control. This pattern appears in relationships as well. Someone who constantly checks, questions, or demands reassurance may not simply be controlling. Distance reveals what closeness hides. Anyone can appear confident when everything feels secure. But observe what happens when connection becomes uncertain. That is where deeper patterns emerge. Attachment theory explains that early relationships influence how people approach intimacy, trust, and emotional closeness. Some people move toward others when they feel uncertainty. They seek reassurance. They ask for confirmation. They need proof that the relationship is safe. Others move away. They become colder. They detach. They convince themselves they never needed anyone. Both responses are attempts to manage vulnerability. The person who constantly seeks reassurance may be afraid of abandonment. The person who constantly avoids closeness may be afraid of dependence. Different behaviors, similar foundation. Fear. This is why relationships often expose parts of people they try to hide. A person can control their public image. They can carefully manage how strangers perceive them. But intimacy creates psychological pressure. It activates old fears. It reveals emotional patterns. Someone who cannot tolerate distance may reveal their fear of being forgotten. Someone who cannot tolerate closeness may reveal one of the strongest indicators of a person's internal beliefs is what they repeatedly accept. People often reveal what they believe they deserve through the situations they remain in. Someone who accepts constant disrespect may not lack awareness. They may have normalized it. Someone who repeatedly gives more than they receive may not simply be generous. They may have learned that usefulness is the price of being valued. This is where psychology becomes uncomfortable, because many people do not consciously choose unhealthy patterns. They repeat familiar ones. The human mind often prefers what is familiar over what is healthy. A person may continue accepting poor treatment because chaos feels normal. They may continue chasing approval because rejection feels familiar. They may continue proving themselves because they learned that acceptance must be earned. The pattern is not weakness, it is conditioning. But conditioning can become invisible. The person no longer questions why they tolerate certain things. They simply adapt. They become skilled at surviving environments that should have challenged them. The way someone allows others to treat them is often a reflection of the relationship they have with themselves, not because they deserve mistreatment. A trigger is not simply an emotional reaction. It is a doorway into the unconscious mind. People reveal themselves through what affects them disproportionately. A small comment creates a large reaction. A minor disagreement creates intense defensiveness. A simple question feels like an attack. The reason is that the present moment is sometimes activating something older. The brain does not only respond to what is happening, it responds to what something reminds it of. A person who is constantly criticized may react strongly to feedback. A person who experienced rejection may interpret distance as abandonment. A person who is ignored may become highly sensitive to being overlooked. The current event is only the surface. The deeper issue is the meaning attached to it. This is why emotional reactions contain information. They reveal where someone feels psychologically threatened. The trigger is not always about the situation. It is about the wound beneath the situation. The person who understands this begins looking beyond behavior. They ask, what belief people constantly reveal themselves through what they pay attention to? Attention is not random. The mind naturally focuses on what it considers important. A person who constantly notices weakness in others may be obsessed with strength. A person who constantly notices status may be measuring their own position. A person who constantly notices betrayal may carry a deep expectation of disappointment. The world people see is influenced by the world they carry internally. Two people can experience the same situation and interpret completely different realities. One sees opportunity, another sees danger. One sees honesty, another sees manipulation. The external world is filtered through internal beliefs. This is why observation itself becomes psychological evidence. What someone searches for often reveals what they expect to find. The suspicious person searches for betrayal. The insecure person searches for rejection. The ambitious person searches for opportunity. The fearful person searches for threats. The mind is always collecting evidence for the story it already believes. Silence is one of the most powerful psychological signals. Words are controlled. Silence is often unconscious. Pay attention to what happens when a person has nothing to say. Do they become uncomfortable? Do they withdraw? Do they observe? Do they punish others with silence? Silence can represent many things: wisdom, fear, control, avoidance. A person who becomes silent during conflict may be regulating themselves, or they may be avoiding vulnerability. A person who refuses to explain themselves may be emotionally disciplined, or they may have learned that expression leads to rejection. The meaning is found in the pattern. Silence is not empty. It is information. The quietest moments often reveal the strongest psychological truths, because when a person stops performing, their deeper patterns become visible. The human mind is constantly revealing itself through reactions, through habits, through defenses, through relationships, through silence. Most people believe they are hiding who they are, but the truth is different. People reveal themselves every day. They reveal themselves through what they protect, through what they fear, through what they tolerate, through what they repeatedly seek. The person who understands psychology does not focus only on words. They observe patterns, because words can be manufactured. Patterns are much harder to fake. The deepest understanding of human behavior comes from recognizing that everyone carries invisible forces shaping their actions. Hidden fears, old beliefs, unconscious strategies. The mask people show the world is only one layer. Beneath it exists a psychological system built over years of experience. And once you learn how to see those systems, human behavior becomes less confusing. Not because people become predictable, but because you finally understand what drives them. The greatest insight into human nature is not learning how to control others. It is recognizing that every person is constantly revealing the parts of themselves they are trying hardest to hide.